about it is it shows what happens when women are with men and then decide to be with the good guy.
Okay.
So the first,
Okay.
I'm serious.
Okay.
The woman, she's with she's got a good guy. You know how women always want the good guy, the clean, nice guy, and all this stuff. So they'll marry him, have kids. Everything I always said is in this movie, and she can't stop thinking about the asshole. She can't stop thinking about the asshole. She just all she does is reminisce. She wrote a journal on how intoxicating he is, but that's us. I mean, it's when you watch the first 8 picks, I had the fella like Raw and them saw they were just crack. They said, yeah. Raw said, yeah, that's us. That's us. It's us. It's us.
Nice. I'm gonna watch that, man. Let me put this light on real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm setting up the lines anyway. Let me see here. Guys, we'll be starting the show in 1 minute.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio.
To start your show now.
Your show is scheduled to start in 36 seconds.
Yeah, but I promise, it is us. I mean, because somebody, you put your thing, you hear me? Let's see here.
All right. Good enough. It's us. I'm gonna watch it, man. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, I promise you. Either
we'll go live in 5 seconds.
You'll crack the fuck up. But here, let's start the
1.
All right, we're gonna start the show. Here we go. But dog, you'll crack up, man.
Blog Talk Radio.
Your success in the game isn't about what you show the world. It's about what the world sees you as. It's your ability to materialize a larger mental vision of your rules and expectations when it comes to women. Coach EO and Steve the Dean Williams are here to break down the game to help you create amazing relationships in your life. It doesn't matter if you're married or single. A man is a man. EO says it begins and ends with the man. And Steve says the game has nothing to do with women, and you're the only one of your kind. It's time you start to move that way instead of making excuses and playing victim. Are you ready to have the champion mindset? Then get your notebooks out, take notes, ask questions, and call in. The number is 515-605-9373. That's 515-605-9373. It's showtime.
All right, we're here, man. Yes. Welcome to the show. E. It's another great Monday, man. Great day. Man Monday. Great day for men and stuff. So. Yeah. That's right. So E, as always,
good to be back, man. Good to be back.
Comes in with the great title. How you doing? First off, man, what's good, man?
Good, man. Good. Yeah, real good, man. Busy day. Kind of some interesting things happening today. Always, life is full of surprises, but you should never be too surprised when things happen. Always be prepared for things to happen. Oh no, man. Believe it or not, something personal, but nothing. I have a feeling it's basically someone that I do business with, and I think he must be going right now because he must be going through something. So I'm giving him a little time to work through that, but he must be going through something. So respect to him. Hope he's all right. Yeah, hope he's good. I care about the guy, but he's going through something. Yeah.
All right. Well,
but yeah, I thought of this topic because my one of my best friends text messaged me today, and he knows I'm a worldwide coach and mentor and stuff. And he said I tried to mentor this young guy at a restaurant. He said I was trying to mentor him. He's got a child, but he's lazy. You know, he's lazy, under prioritizes his responsibilities, and he wants to play video games all the time. And he was basically kind of saying that a lot of that has to do with we live in so many distractions. He asked me, or maybe he just made a statement. He said, I ponder if my grandfather would be the same man he was then in today's era. Would he have been distracted? Would he have had the discipline? He didn't have these distractions. You know, and today's era is completely different. And so I thought this would be a great opportunity to break it down to the guys in the chat room, and we'll talk about it.
Wow. Yeah. I even 1950 saw the topic, and he was like, dude, this is a hot topic, man. I was like, yeah. Because, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Granddad. Oh, guys, if y'all want to call in, 515-605-9373 is the number you want to call in if you have a question. Or if you want to have a question, just put a Q in the chat room with your question, and we'll promise we'll get to those as well. But, you know, I always think about, I think about how I was.
Don't forget to coordinate, people. Don't forget to coordinate. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was telling the guys, don't forget to coordinate, man. Get your coordination out. Yeah, it's my bad, Steve. Please go ahead. Go ahead, King. Go ahead, brother.
You're all good, motherfucker. You good, man. So the thing is, I think about not my father, my grandfather. And if he were here today at a young age, he would clean the fuck up. He would get so many. Because the work ethic and the thought process is so different from, like, you know, we're before the internet. See, a lot of people understand that's why we thrive in the internet, but because he wasn't in a part of the internet, and he had to do everything as a man. He had to, if he wanted to talk to a woman, he had to go over there and talk to her. It was no sitting around waiting. There was no Instagrams, no Facebook. So it was all hard work. So he would thrive, in my opinion. But what say you, brother?
Right.
Oh wait, you okay? Yo, I'll continue. But
no, we good. No, we good. No, we good. I need to move this for a minute. No, you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, I had a conversation with my mother about it. I just wanted to kind of like talk to my OG mother. I said, hey, tell me the truth. I said, there was a bunch of simps back in your day, and when you were young, there were simps back then. Now she said, oh, sure. She said, my father was a simp. She actually told me that her father was a simp, and he passed away when she was young. Okay. But she said, you know, my mother had her way with him. She would call the cops on him anytime that it was, you know, she was keeping it real. She said, when my mother didn't get her way with my father, she would call the cops on him. and I said, okay, now tell me about the cops back in the 70s and that. Did the cops favor the woman? Did they throw the man in the squad car or what? She said, oh, you know, the cops are always going to favor the women. They're always going to favor the women. And so she said, yeah, there'll be times she called the cops on him. I said, did he leave? No, he stayed. And I said, oh, okay. And she said, also, your step grandfather, my step grandfather, who was my grandmother's new chump. His name, he was out of Alabama. As a matter of fact, Southern guy, worked in a steel mill. I remember him. Very nice man, too nice. And she shit on him too. She took his whole paycheck. My mother told me that every time he got paid, he would just give her the paycheck. Here you go. And she said, do you know what she gave him out of his own paycheck? I said, what's that? She said, a case of beer and a package of Twinkies, bro. That's all he got out of his own check. So why am I telling you this? Because there were simps then. Okay. So Don't think now it's just there's simps, only in this era. There were simps then and there were men then. So just understand that you could demand a real man with self-discipline and self-respect. And that's a motivated man and knows why he's doing things. And you could put him in any location on planet Earth in any era, and he's going to get the job done. And you could also put a simp in the most comfortable conditions. Yes. And he's still going to be a simp. You can put, no matter what, he's going to be a simp. Take it back to the beginning of time. If you subscribe to scripture, Adam was a simp. If you really watch what Eve got away with while under the leadership of Adam, He was a simp. Okay. So if you subscribe to religion and the Christian Bible, if you pay attention, Eve was under the leadership of Adam. Adam should have been monitoring and managing that entire situation. He was a simp for Eve. Eve, you give a woman too much time to go and do what she wants to do, she gonna, unfortunately, most women, not all, but most women will mess things up and cause a big situation. And so that's what I'm telling you. So for you guys to think, oh, it would have been different for your grandpa, for your pawpaw, it would have been different if he was there were too many distractions. My boy even tried to pull that out on me. He said, would my father have been as disciplined? Because I guess he said his grandfather, my friend was telling me that his grandfather had multiple businesses. He had about 9 cars. He was a man. He was a legend. He left a big legacy behind, highly respected. But would he have been that man in today's era? And I said, oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, you know how you use the phone to bullshit? He was using the phone and technology to even grow more businesses. Okay. Oh, yeah. So that's the difference. You give a real man more tools, he maximizes those opportunities and creates more expansion for himself and others. You give a simp tools, all he's going to do is destroy himself.
Yeah, no, and this is great because we're getting both two sides of the coin that they're both true. And, you know, like my grandfather was like a player and shit. So he would probably like his eyes are bug out probably because it'd be too easy for him. Like you said before, you know, men are always building, men are always evolving, men are always growing, even back in those eras. So if they came into this era right now where it's easier, it's just think about it. If you're like a grandfather that had game versus the simp, of course, if he came right now and realized he has access to women all over the world with a drop of a dime, I mean, through a message versus, you know, back in their day, it was like, how long did a letter have to go through the mail? If you're sending somebody something overseas or something, I mean, the times were totally different as far as pen pals,
message in a bottle
type, put it on the dove type shit. You know what I mean? It was all
signals
that.
And shit. He fired up the smoke.
Yeah. All that.
hey, when you see a bonfire, baby, that means I'm a hit.
Yeah,
when you see the bonfire, that means I want to hit. Come on through.
Exactly.
No, it's true. It's true though. It's true. Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Please.
No, I was just saying real quick, and knowing that, you know, back in their day, they had to deal with dad. They had to deal with, you know, he had to meet the parents type shit, and they had to go out and be backed by the lights type thing. You know, you go to this country dance or you go to the dance or whatever, and you had to have her back home in a reasonable hour, of course. But they were all, I mean, like you say, they were always bad boys and they were always men. But like you say, they were always simps as well, brother.
Yeah. My mother, I asked her again, I wanted to get, you know, her honest truth. And she said there were distractions back in the day. Men had taverns. There was things they did. They went to the tavern after work. They tabs at the tavern. They would go congregate there. There were women. There were whorehouses. See, back in the day, there were whorehouses. Now it's just the internet is the whorehouse. Okay. So the only difference, there was an actual place you could go back in the day. That's a whorehouse, a brothel. Yeah. Okay. Like as a matter of fact, my aunt that ran a whorehouse. This is no joke. I mean, it's like we talk about the street game. This is a straight up street game. In our family, an extension of our family, there was an aunt of my mother who owned a bar, and in the back of the bar was a whorehouse. And so just keep that in mind. It was back then. There were distractions back then. Okay. All the same distractions. Okay. All the same in different ways and different delivery systems. Just know that everything that's going on now was going on back then at a slightly different pace and with a different delivery system. Same exact thing. Every man has to be disciplined. Every man has to be focused. Every man needs to know why he's doing stuff. So I'm telling you, you guys think, oh, it wouldn't have been successful today. Too many distractions, too many things to take your focus away from the objective. Nah, a man's gonna be a man at any time, in any era, on any continent. It doesn't matter where you go. A man is a man where he's at, and unfortunately, a soft man, he's gonna be who he is too, no matter where he's at.
Yeah, even back in the day, you know, I mean, they didn't call them side chicks. I guess they called them mistresses. I guess they were called mistresses back in those days. So
Yes.
So
Yes.
don't think granddad didn't have a few mistresses or what they call today side chicks because they knew their place. And if they're in this day and age, because women are giving up sex faster. I mean, you got to think about it. There were slutty girls out there. There's a little bit of everything, but a lot of women back in those days kind of had a little bit of morals. You know, they had like a moral compass where you had to really work for that shit. Not all the time, but most of the time. But knowing that if he came into this era where they're giving it up like Halloween, they have this is the I always say this is I tell I'm so jealous of guys today because they don't know how good they're in a time where these women are just giving it up left and right easily, brother, easily, man. It's ridiculous, bro. So,
and, you know, and that's true, and keep. And call in 515-59373 is the number. Call in with your dating and manhood questions. But keep in mind something. There was some it was right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, life is about making adjustments. So do you think that men didn't have to make adjustments 50, 60 years ago to what was going on at that time? You see, what went on at that time was new for the time. So you can't really compare. See, what will happen in 2050, we'll be looking back at 2021. Damn, that was some old technology right there. So I'm saying in 20, 30 years, you'll look back at the present moment and say, damn, we've really advanced since then. So just keep in mind, back in the 50s, that was new for them at the time. They were comparing that to a decade prior, to the 40s, then the 30s. So there's always advancement, there's always new things, and there's always different things going on in the world too. So real men know how to make adjustments. Life is all about adjustments and positioning and opportunities and balancing your system, like I talked about earlier. So just remember that life is all about adjustments. And so men 50 years ago still had to adjust to the times. And so just keep that in mind. In 20 years from now, you'll be looking back at the iPhone or the Samsung phone that you have. Take a look at a phone that you have in a drawer. I'll prove it to you. Go over to a drawer where you have an old phone that maybe just still laying around somewhere. Pick that phone up, and if you can, pour that thing on. You're going to be like, damn, this mug is dated. 10 years old. Same thing. Same thing happened in the 50s. They were comparing on in the 50s and 60s to the decade prior. So life is about adjustments, and real men adjust.
Yeah, and not only that, well, what the thing that is going to help you know, our grandfathers or men is the ones that's going to thrive in this is the laws. They live by a certain code. You know, everything that they did was coded. I'm saying this man, not the soft ones, but the ones that thrived with women. They lived by, you know, the woman ain't, you know, I'm not saying she ain't shit, but she ain't shit. You know what I mean? They never put any value in the woman. It was never about the woman with the guys that would thrive in this day and age. It was just like kind of like us, man. They would just, you get more women when you're the asshole. I mean, you especially today. I mean, and what is great, like what will bring women to our, you know, if grandfathers came into this age is that when women get around real tough men, tough as nails type men, oh, they'll cream over that. Like I say, grandpa will be fucking out until he like dies and shit. He'll be in the casket with his hips like still pumping in the air because he's gonna get so much ass it'll blow his mind how much ass he's getting. Shout out to 1950 in a room and stuff like that. Yeah, but what say you, man?
19, what's up, bro? What's up? Yeah, the other day I was doing a live stream. SNO brought something to my attention. As a matter of fact, some girl came in, you know, suddenly into the stream, and she said something, and I said, "Bitch, please get the fuck up out of here if you ain't gonna come over here with no respect." If you're not going to come over here with respect, get the fuck up out of here. I called her a bitch and everything. Guess what? I didn't eat shit. But SNO called it. She came back a series later, maybe 10, 15 minutes later, and was very delightful and respectful. So I let her know, bitch, don't come over here with that because you're going to get the boot. So, and I didn't see it because I don't see a lot of the stuff that's going on because I'm rolling. So just remember, women respond to strength. And a man that's very, very sure of himself. This is why we teach this, to put yourself first, to always put yourself first. And then when you deal with people, it has to be on your turn. I mean, it has to be within reason, of course. We don't coerce and force anybody. We give them an opportunity to deal with us, and we tell them what the standard is. And she has to deal with that. And if she deals with that, she knows the deal. And if she doesn't deal with that, well, she's got to go. And so that's why a man that's willing to walk away, strongest man alive. A man that's willing to walk away is the strongest man alive. So,
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And and what a lot of guys will see is that how he lived, and when you live, not necessarily say like live like your grandfather, but have that mindset that they had back then of, you know what, I run shit, I run things, I'm running things. You're not going to tell me where I'm going to take you. You're not going to throw something in my face. But don't get it wrong, because like you said earlier, and I want guys to understand, there were Simpson shit as well. There were there were a lot of weak ass motherfuckers. See, men, even though it was a time of man, it was still, there wasn't that many strong-willed men at abundance. See, people don't understand the world has always moved where men are a very small percentage, and then there's everybody else, because that's how the economy has to run. That's how they, that's how services are. That's how De Beers and Jared and naming flower shops and weddings. That's how they thrive in this economy, because of the weak and not the strong. What say you, brother?
Yeah, I got you muted because it's thundering, and Sadie hates that thunder. I got her here with me right now, but no, it's 100% true. I mean, things have changed. Don't get me wrong. I mean, things have progressed. They've changed. They've progressed. They're a little faster, but so what? Once you make the adjustment, you get faster. I'm better now than I was 10 years ago. I was better 10 years ago than I was 10 years prior to that. So as a man, you should always be evolving and getting better. From technology standpoint, hey, there's no excuse. Hey, you're an older cat. Hey, get somebody to show you how to do something. Hey, you don't know how to do something? Hire Steve. Hire me. That's why we offer services, to coach you, to learn from our experiences, to learn from the era we grew up in and how we've adjusted to the newer technology and the new times. So just keep in mind, everything is always changing, but you should be always changing with it and adjusting and improving as a man. So and so that it's pretty simple. I mean, it's pretty simple, but just keep in mind, know this: not every man was a man. There was bums back then. There were simps back then. There were losers back then. There were guys that were, there were even gay dudes. Only reason why you see so many gay people now is because it's been widely accepted. There were that many gay people back then. Actors were gay. Rock Hudson was gay. There was a lot of actors that looked macho that once they even had to tell their agents, yo, I'm gay, man. I like men. How am I going to go get with some men? Well, you're going to have to go out at night, put a mask on or some shit and go out. Because if you get uncovered, that's a problem. It's in that era. So they had it tougher than you. Look, you guys could go out now and say that you're a woman. You could become a man. If you're a man, you can become a woman right now. You couldn't do that shit back in the day. So there was a lot of shit that you had to seclude. You needed game to get what you wanted in life back then. Now everything is so widely accepted. You can go into, there's unisex bathrooms right now. I mean, you guys got it too easy. That's the problem. Too easy.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and Russ, this is why I always say I don't have a problem with women being allowed to do things. I don't ever argue that, because I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is how men are acting and behaving, because the thing that a lot of people don't understand in all this stuff as far as game and manhood is that women can have equal pay and all that. I don't care. I mean, that has nothing to do with manhood. Or just because she gets equal pay, I mean, if she's gonna work, I don't mind that. I'm not sexist like that. It's just not in me. I don't really
Right.
care
Me
about
neither. Yeah.
her making equal pay. I really feel that, hey, if you work hard for a position, get equal pay. That's fine, but that's not where the issue is at. The issue is not at
Yeah.
the job. The issue is what most guys feel when they walk out that door, when they roll up on a woman versus what they feel about themselves. So, but I mean, I popped that up because I mean, that's how I feel about it. But what's your take on that before we continue our talk? E, what's your take on this statement right here?
Well, I mean, what would you prefer? A woman to stay with you because it wasn't societally accepted to go get a divorce, so she's with you only because she has to be with you, or with you because she wants to be with you? So in a way, now look, clearly, I don't advocate getting divorces for any old thing. I mean, just because it's just like business deals. Just because you're in your emotions or you're having a little breakdown doesn't mean you renege on a guy, or it doesn't mean you renege on that you just walk out on somebody. I mean, there has to be, you have to understand that there's going to be times where something doesn't go your way, you don't like it. Okay, you sit back, you hold yourself accountable. Maybe my approach was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. So I'll say this: now women have the freedom to really choose. I mean, if you take a look around now, sometimes that freedom is not good. I'll be honest. Sometimes if you've demonstrated to society, yourself and society, that you don't do well with freedom, you shouldn't have freedom. Quite frankly, that's my opinion. If you don't do well with the freedom that you are given, freedom should be removed from you. Okay, so sometimes people do need to be under some sort of like control. I really do mean that. But for those out there that know how to balance their system, to operate in society, they're not hurting anybody, they're not hurting themselves, those people deserve freedom. But truth be told, a lot of the people that were together in those former years that was mentioned, it was organized. They were told they had to stay. They were miserable in a lot of those situations, and they had to stay for whatever. They couldn't survive on their own, or how they'd be looked at in the neighborhood or whatever. Oh, it's a broken home. Who left? Oh, it was Jennifer, or it was Betty. Betty left. Oh, why did Betty leave? Oh, she had an affair, or he whatever. So people cared, like people talked, and there was a certain level of respect back then. So you were conformed. You were like, you had to be that. But today, the upside today is that people only deal with you if they want to deal with you. That's the upside. The downside is there's so much freedom that people have, and everything is so accepted that now it's like a fucking circus out here.
Yeah, it is. And again, not all grandfathers would thrive today, but the ones that I know, one of the things that made them thrive, and that even beat some of these kids today, is that granddad was innovative. There's not a lot of guys out here that use their creative side. They don't use their imagination. They don't use their creativity. They don't use a sense of adventureness or sexual creativity or sexual adventurous and things like that. A lot of these young men today find it I won't say thirsty. What is their word? It's not, they think it's not manly to be smooth in the bedroom, or manly to be seductive in the bedroom. They just think it's, you just get on top of a woman, hop on her, and jump off. Where, the old men from the old days, they had that gift of gab. The ones that were like about the manhood, they had the gift of gab because they were creative. They all were open to new ideas, and they motivated women, and they made women feel like a woman. I'm not saying that, I'm talking about the good ones. I'm not talking about the simps here, but they knew how to make women feel like women. So if he was here today, or he came, came fast forward, and he was, I don't know, between 20 and 40 or whatever, he would clean the fuck up, because most women would gravitate to him, because the average guy today, they don't even know how to approach a woman more or less to make a woman feel sexy, man. What say you?
Yeah. Yeah, part of that too is cell phones. Like the advancement of cell phones that made people dumb. Now it's made the smart ones even smarter. Okay, so just keep
Yes.
this in mind. Again, the hustlers, okay, the work innovators, okay, the motivated men to not stay stagnant, to keep advancing, to even get to add on. They've used all the resources that they have to better themselves and their families. But if you got a lazy person with no direction, no self-worth, the cell phone is ruining you. You notice, because we always bring it to guys' attention. Listen to you at the 44-minute mark in this video. Look how you talk to us. Look how you present yourself vocally or verbally. Look how you talk. And that's because of this. That's because of this all the time. So that's why we say, hey, get good with the cell phone. Utilize your resources and maximize those opportunities. Okay, don't shun them. You use those to benefit yourself. But you can never, ever, ever replace a man who is assertive and can communicate with his words. Just know that right now.
Yeah.
That'll never be replaced. The power of the mouthpiece. You'll never be able to replace that. A man that can communicate effectively with his words, okay, with his body language. Even these things matter today. If you look at youngins in society, they walk with their heads down, they don't shake your hand, they don't give you eye contact, they smell like weed all day. They're ruining themselves with this thing. They're highly distracted by the phone. Look, Steve and I could be distracted. We choose not to be. We can be distracted, trust me. We could be. We're not above, but we choose otherwise. We know what's best for us. We stay focused on the mission at hand. Look, we wouldn't be able to do these shows. We wouldn't be able to stick to a schedule if we weren't focused men. Okay, but we can be distracted. I just want you to know we can be. We choose not to be.
Yeah, and I just want to help. And this is. I mean, I like the comment beyond the weight room, but you got to understand. You got to understand game, and you don't get it yet. So we're trying to show you. See, what you said is these older dudes seem like a one woman man, of course, on the front end. See, the one thing that you'll learn about, even if grandpa or your grandfathers were men came today, there's a rule on the street, and it's even a rule back in the day. It's a rule that mob bosses kept. It's a rule that syndicates, underground secret societies, and all these things that most of you guys who don't have game don't understand. You don't put business out on the street. If he seemed like a one woman man, that's what he wants to show the world. But you'll never know what a real man is doing unless you're in a circle or a group of real men. See, most of y'all guys have a wrong perception. You think because you may see granddad or guys that you just have one woman, or they just keep quiet. They don't talk much about what they're doing. Because a lot of you guys don't understand women today. A lot of women have, like I say, have charity organizations. They have lives. Some have marriages. Some have boyfriends. Some people. Some women have high up jobs.
Maybe here. Maybe each other here.
You say you're breaking up. Okay, hold on. I mean, you're breaking up. I got you broken up. Am I breaking up?
We're skipping on here. I'm trying to check it out here.
Am I skipping? You skipping?
It is both maybe skipping. Yeah, it appears. Let's see if
maybe it's storm. Yeah. Let me see you. You break up. I'm breaking up.
I'm gonna come out and come back. Yeah, come back and come back in.
Yeah. Am I skipping? Y'all see me skipping? I don't see me skipping on here. Am I skipping? We coming back in. I think it was Ryan out there, so he's coming back in. But can y'all hear everything? Just let me know, chat room. Y'all can hear us and everything right now? Say something, chat room, let us know. And we're going to need to come back, and I'll continue. It's still skipping. We're still, let me see. We're both skipping. Oh, Okay, let me refresh. Hold on, gentlemen. Let me bring E back in. E is not coming in. Let me refresh. Hold on 1 second. I'll jump out and jump back in 1 second. All right. I still waiting on E. All right, guys, how am I doing? We're still waiting on E. I think we still got waiting on E. We skipping how we doing right now? Right
Yeah,
now, how we doing right now?
it's
Still
iPhone
back.
signal here. There's a storm in my area. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
Now, yeah.
yeah, I'm coming up still.
You're still coming in real.
Yeah, it's still a problem here. Still, even you. When I look at myself on my side of the screen, it's clear, but you're not clear. Not right now.
It shows me clear, so it's the same thing.
Okay.
See, it's I should be breaking up. I have rain storms. Everything's fine. I wonder why it's breaking up. They say I'm breaking up. Wow. So E is frozen. This is still breaking up. Let's see here. I'm going to E frozen. Jesus, what's going on? Hold on, let's see here. Let's see if E come back in. Let's see if we bring E back in. All right, let's see here. All right. Let me. How am I breaking up? I have no issues over here with the weather. Gentlemen, hold on a second. And coming in, still, gentlemen, let me know. I'm still breaking. I sound like Stephen Hawkins. I don't I have no idea why. Wait, maybe it's plugged in. Connection is stable. If your Wi-Fi, try plugging into your router, moving closer. So this thing is stable. Why is it stable? That is weird. Let's see here. Give me 2 seconds. This is the first time, so give us a second. Let's try to fix this shit here. I wonder why it's coming stable. Let me see, gentlemen. Hold on a second. We're trying to get things together. Even the videos, internet service restarted. Well, I didn't restart it. Internet is high. Internet is crazy. All right, let us try something out. We're going. Let me jump out again and jump back in. Let me try it again. Hold on a second. All right, gentlemen, how am I now? I'm good now. It's not good. It's not good. It's good now. Okay, that's weird. Okay, all right, we're waiting for E, but I'll continue to talk about what I was talking about. Let me just make sure that I check the microphone. The microphone should be set up perfectly with the. All right, the roadcaster. Okay, now lines are open if y'all want to call in. It's kind of better, but I don't know. I don't see what the problem is. Maybe, but so who says I'm SNO? Are you storming over where you're at, SNO, where E is? Because it seems like. Wait, someone says not good. Someone says clear. They're losing me. I'm not clear. It's visual. My net is bad. How's internet bad? I wonder what's going on with my internet. It loses again. I will try. Matter of fact, let me try this. Hold on. I'm gonna go to my other computer. Hold on. I'm gonna go to my other computer. All right, it's bad. Hold on a second. Let me hold on, guys. Give us 1 second. We're having some technical difficulties. Yeah, we start the stream. Hold on 1 second, guys. We will be right back.